Welcome back to Stock Explorers. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling Robinhood, a platform that's really changed how people think about investing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how they've managed to get the attention of so many people, especially, the younger investors.
For sure, their commission-free model was a huge disruptor. And that super user-friendly app, come on, that definitely helped. They went from 500,000 funded accounts back in 2015 to a staggering 25.5 million in 2025.
It's been a crazy rise, but, their monthly active users, those numbers have kind of gone up and down, right? They hit that peak, like 17.3 million during that whole GameStop thing back in 21. Now they're more around, 11 to 12 million? It's tough keeping users engaged all the time, especially with the markets changing constantly.
Yeah, so what's the deal with those ups and downs? Is it just like the market doing its thing?
Well, yeah, partly. Things like that GameStop short squeeze, they create a ton of activity, but it's not always going to last. But it also says something about who's actually using Robinhood. A lot of their users are millennials, Gen Z, right? And they might be, I don't know, maybe a bit more sensitive when the market gets shake.
Makes sense. When things get volatile, they might be quicker to pull back.
Exactly. And that's why Robinhood's always trying new things. They're trying to figure out how to appeal to, well, everyone, really.
And that's what makes them so interesting. Okay, let's get into some of these innovations. What are they doing that's like really different?
One cool example is fractional options trading. Basically, you can get into options with way less money.
So instead of needing like a ton of cash to start with options, you can just try it out with like a buck.
Yep, exactly. It opens up this, potentially super profitable strategy to a whole new group of investors.
I could see why that's appealing, especially if you're new to investing and you're not ready to, risk a lot. What else is coming down the pipeline?
They're about to launch this copy trading feature. Imagine being able to automatically do the exact same trades as these like super experienced investors.
Well, hold up. That changes everything. It's like having like a mentor right there with you every step of the way.
It's a pretty good way to put it. It's designed to help, newer investors or people who don't want to be super active maybe benefit from someone else's expertise.
Robinhood's definitely pushing the limits with this stuff, but they're also getting into some, well, pretty unconventional stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. One area they've been talking about is prediction markets. This would let users basically, bet on the outcome of stuff that happens in the real world, like elections, sports games, all within Robinhood.
Okay, now that's thinking outside the box. They even had a prediction market for the 2024 election, right?
They did, and it blew up. Like over 500 million contracts traded in just a week. Shows you the potential of this kind of thing.
Wow. It's like, I don't know, a real-time crystal ball. Everyone's wisdom, like shaping the odds. Super innovative, but I bet there's a ton of regulations they'll have to figure out.
Oh, absolutely. Prediction markets are pretty new, so regulators are like understandably cautious, but Robinhood seems pretty determined to like make it happen.
Now, they're not just sticking to stocks and options, right? Their cryptocurrency stuff has been exploding too.
Yeah, their crypto revenue up a massive 700% year over year in the last quarter of 2024. Shows you how much demand there is for this stuff.
Those numbers are huge. They even offer crypto wallets now, so you can like take your assets off the platform. But how do they stack up against the DIG crypto players? Coinbase, Binance, all those guys.
It's a good question. Robinhood's great for convenience, right? Trading Krypton next to your regular stocks, but their selection is still kind of small compared to, say, Coinbase or Binance.
So maybe they're more of a gateway to crypto, like if you're just starting out and want to dip your toes in.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. Coinbase, on the other hand, they've got like a ton of different cryptocurrency. They're going for those more experienced investors who want, more options.
And what about Binance? Aren't they known for being like everywhere?
Oh, totally. They're basically running the global crypto exchange market. Huge selection, advanced trading tools, the whole nine yards.
So each platform's kind of targeting a slightly different crypto crowd then.
Exactly. Robinhood's strength is that simplicity and, being able to trade traditional assets right there too. While Coinbase and Binance, they're going for the die-hard crypto traders.
All right, so let's talk about where Robinhood's headed. Global expansion is on the menu, right? They're starting with Singapore, I think.
It's a smart move. Singapore's a huge financial hub, and they're super supportive of fintech companies.
Makes sense. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. That SEC investigation into their crypto stuff, that must have been a nail biter.
Yeah, they were under the microscope for a long time, almost 3 years. The SEC was looking at their crypto listings, trying to figure out if some of those tokens were, unregistered securities. Created a lot of uncertainty.
Man, that must have been stressful. Any updates?
Good news, actually. Just last month, February 2025, the SEC said they were closing the investigation. No enforcement action.
That's a big win for Robinhood. Clears the air and lets them get back to, growing.
Absolutely. Navigating those regulations, it's super important for any financial company, especially when they're expanding into new markets and coming up with, crazy new products.
It's a sign that they're growing up as a company, right? Taking compliance seriously. Okay, so we've talked innovations, we've talked regulations, but one thing that's always impressed me about Robinhood is, well, their marketing. They are masters of FOMO, the fear of missing out.
You're right. Their marketing's super effective. They use those pre-launch invitations, VIP access to new features, all that.
It makes you feel like, you got to be a part of it, like it's exclusive.
Exactly. And that exclusivity plus the way they make their app feel kind of like a game, super appealing to, their target audience, those younger investors.
So they're not just making investing easy, they're making it fun.
That's the key. They've figured out what makes their audience tick. All those animations, little rewards, it makes investing feel, I don't know, more like a game than a chore.
Yeah, like they've taken the scariness out of investing. It feels more exciting, even social.
And those referral programs, that's genius. Encouraging users to spread the word, it's like free marketing.
It's brilliant. The more people they get, the stronger they become. It's a network effect, right?
Right, and that fuels their innovation, expansion, the whole thing. It's a cycle.
So to recap, Robinhood's growth has been insane. They're coming out with super innovative products. Their crypto stuff's taking off. They're going global. And their marketing is, well, it's a Robinhood.
It's been quite a ride, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. But there's one more big thing we got to talk about. Their financials. How are the numbers actually looking?
You're right. They've been through a lot, but are they actually making money?
Okay, let's look at their 2024 numbers, the whole year.
All right, hit me with those financials.
Their total revenue, a solid $2.95 billion. That's up 58% from the year before.
Okay, not bad. What about profit? Are they actually in the black?
They are. Net income hit $1.41 billion. That's a huge turnaround from the $541 million loss they had in 2023.
Whoa, from a loss to $1 billion in profit? How'd they do that?
Well, they cut costs, for one, but their revenue growth has been incredible, too. Their adjusted EBITDA for the year was $1.43 billion, up a whopping 167% year over year.
All right, those are some seriously impressive numbers. They're on a roll.
For sure, and their assets under custody have been growing steadily, too. Hit $123 billion by the end of 2024.
So more and more people are trusting them with their money.
Exactly. And their fourth quarter, that was a blowout, $1.01 billion in revenue, more than double what they made in the same quarter the year before.
Wait, double their revenue in just one quarter? What drove that?
Crypto. Their cryptocurrency revenue went through the roof, up 700% year over year. All that demand for digital assets is definitely paying off.
Seems like their crypto bet is working out pretty well.
It sure does. And I think that success with crypto is going to keep shaping what they do, what products they build, how they expand.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about their stock. They went public back in July 2021, right?
Yep, their IPO price was $38 a share.
And where's it at now, February 2025?
Well, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, as most growth stocks are, but right now it's trading somewhere between $59.90 and $65.65.
So it's up from the IPO, but definitely been a bumpy ride. Is that normal for a company like Robinhood?
Oh, totally. High growth companies, especially in markets that are always changing, their prices can fluctuate a lot, but analysts still have a moderate buy rating on the stock with a price target around $71.71.
So they think it's still got room to grow? Interesting.
It is. Of course, no investment is like a sure thing, right? There are definitely some challenges, some potential roadblocks for Robinhood that investors should know about.
Okay, like what? What could mess things up for them?
Well, regulators are always a factor for financial companies. Robinhood's had to deal with fines, settlements, all that stuff in the past.
Yeah, that SEC investigation and then that $45 million settlement they agreed to in January 2025.
Exactly. Those things, especially the stuff around cybersecurity, record keeping, anti-money laundering, it shows how important it is to have, really solid compliance systems in place.
Absolutely. Trust is huge for any financial platform. What else should investors be thinking about?
Competition. Robinhood's not just up against the old school brokerage firms anymore. There are a ton of new fintech players popping up all the time.
Yeah, platforms like Weppl, eToro, and then you've got Coinbase and Binance still dominating the crypto space. It's a crowded market.
Totally. Robinhood needs to keep innovating to stay ahead of the game and keep those users coming back.
And then there's the question of, are they actually worth what the market says they are? Some analysts think Robinhood's stock might be a bit overvalued.
That's a fair point. Their future really depends on whether they can keep growing, keep those revenue numbers going up, and they got to handle those regulatory challenges and keep their users happy.
So it's a mixed bag. Lots of potential, but they can't afford to slip up.
That's a great way to put it. It'll be fascinating to see how their expansion plans play out, especially in Asia.
Singapore could be like a launch pad for them, right? Get a foothold there and then really expand throughout the whole region.
Yep, if they can make it in Singapore, that could be a strong sign that they can compete on a global scale.
So even with the challenges, they're starting 2025 strong, record-breaking financials, they're going global, more users than ever.
But, like you said, they got to stay on top of things. The fintech world is constantly changing.
It's a wild ride watching Robinhood's journey. They've already shaken things up and it seems like they're just getting started.
Their story is proof that in finance, things are changing fast, and you got to be ready to disrupt.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on what they do next, but for now, that's going to wrap up our deep dive into Robinhood for this segment.
We'll be back in a flash to keep exploring. So, we were talking about how Robinhood keeps their users engaged. Gamification's a big part of that. They really try to make investing, interactive, even fun, especially for their younger users.
Yeah, I'm all for making investing less scary, less like, a club only certain people can join. What kind of gamification are we talking about here?
Well, think about it. You make a trade, right? And bam, confetti all over the app.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's silly, but it makes it more exciting.
Exactly. It's all about making you feel good about investing. They use emojis, visual cues, to celebrate when you hit milestones. Like if your portfolio reaches a certain value.
It's like leveling up in a game.
You got it. They even have those surprise rewards like refer a friend, boom, free stock, do a certain task, free stock. It keeps people coming back for more.
It's smart, but they're also focused on education, right?
Oh, totally. Their Robinhood Learn section, it's packed with info for everyone, no matter your experience level. Tutorials, articles, even videos explaining different investment concepts, strategies.
I like that they're giving people the knowledge to, make their own decisions. It's not like the old days where investing was this big mystery.
That's the whole point, right? They want to make finance accessible. And they're really good at using social interaction too, building that sense of community.
Yeah, like those features that let you share your investment activity on Twitter and stuff.
Yep. Creates this camaraderie, little friendly competition maybe, and that keeps people engaged. Oh, and we can't forget those referral bonuses. Getting their existing users to bring in new ones. That's brilliant.
It's win-win, right? Existing users get something, and Robinhood gets new customers. Shows you how strong their brand is.
Totally. And it's not all about short-term trading either. They're offering things like IRAs, individual retirement accounts for long-term investors.
That's smart, right? Appealing to different types of investors, building those relationships early.
Exactly. And they've got that dividend reinvestment program too, the DRIP. Your dividends get automatically reinvested, helps your money grow over time.
Perfect for people who just want to set it and forget it.
Right. And for those who want more, more features, more advanced tools, they have Robinhood Gold. It's a premium subscription, gives you access to margin trading, research, all that.
They're always pushing the envelope, trying new things.
They are. Okay, so expansion. We talked about Singapore, but they're also looking at the UK.
That's a big one. The UK is a major financial hub, lots of potential customers. I'm curious how they'll adapt their platform. Every market's different, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. They've got to be flexible if they want to be a global player. And the competition's going to be fierce.
The UK's got tons of established financial companies, plus all those new fintech startups popping up.
Robinhood's going to have to really play up their strengths. The easy-to-use app, the commission-free trading, those innovative features.
It's a challenge for sure, but cracking the UK market, that could be huge for them. It's a gateway to Europe, basically.
And then Asia. It's all part of this, master plan to become a global powerhouse.
It's ambitious, but, look how far they've come. They started as this tiny startup, and now they're like a major player.
It's a pretty impressive story. But their success really comes down to whether they can handle all those regulations. That's the key.
Yeah, that SEC investigation closing is a good sign. But they got to stay on top of it, be proactive.
And they need to learn from their mistakes, too. Those cybersecurity issues, the record-keeping stuff that led to that $45 million settlement.
It's a reminder that growth isn't everything. Building a company people can trust, that takes, real commitment to doing things the right way.
Couldn't agree more. As Robinhood grows, they got to keep evaluating, adapting, and always putting their users first.
Whether they become this, mega force or just fade away, it all depends on that.
Totally. It's a story in progress, and we'll be watching.
Okay, now let's talk about the big IG picture. What's Robinhood's vision for the future of investing? They've hinted at some pretty radical ideas.
One thing they've talked about is becoming a one-stop shop. Not just investing, but everything finance related. Your investments, your spending, your savings, even crypto, all in Robinhood.
Well, hold on. That's huge. They'd be like a full-blown financial platform.
Exactly. They want to blend the old school financial stuff with all the new fintech innovations.
And this ties into their whole thing about lifestyle financial services, right? Making money management just part of your everyday life.
Exactly. Think about features that help you track your spending, create a budget, make smart financial choices based on your goals.
It's like having a personal finance guru right there in your pocket.
That's the idea. And they're not afraid to get creative. Like those prediction markets, that's a perfect example.
Their CEO, Lad Tenev, he's pretty convinced that prediction markets are the future, like a better way to get information than the news.
He thinks it's all about tapping into collective intelligence, getting insights into what's going to happen faster and maybe even more accurately than traditional methods.
And that election prediction market they did, pretty good evidence that people are into this kind of thing.
Yeah, they're going to expand it to more events, sports, economic stuff, even entertainment. Imagine betting on like the Oscars or the Super Bowl all within Robinhood.
Wow, it's like they're mixing finance, entertainment, and information all together. But are there risks with this kind of thing? Ethical stuff.
Of course, any new technology, any new financial tool, there are risks. People could manipulate it, spread misinformation, even get addicted. Robinhood's got to put some safeguards in place, educate people, make sure they're trading responsibly.
Good point. User protection has to be a priority. Okay, as we wrap this up, it's pretty clear that Robinhood is a major player in the financial world now.
They've opened up investing to millions of people, challenged the way things have always been done, and they're constantly innovating.
They've had their ups and downs, for sure. But every time, they seem to come back stronger.
It shows you the power of disrupting an industry, but also how finance is changing, evolving all the time.
It's an exciting story, and it's not over yet.
Okay, so what does this all mean for everyone listening? What can we learn from Robinhood?
Well, I think it shows us that the financial world is changing. Fast.
It's not just about Wall Street anymore. Technology is giving people more control over their money than ever before.
Platforms like Robinhood are making investing easier, more transparent, more user-friendly.
But remember, there are always risks with investing. Do your research, understand what you're buying, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Wise words. And we've seen with Robinhood, even the most innovative companies can make mistakes. Those regulations, those compliance issues, they're always out there.
So stay informed, be critical of what you see and hear, and make decisions that are right for you and your goals.
Excellent advice. Okay, so the big takeaway from our Robinhood deep dive, the future of finance is being written right now.
Companies like Robinhood are pushing the boundaries, and it's up to all of us to, engage with this new world in a smart way.
Awesome. Thanks for coming along on this journey with us. Stay curious, stay informed, and happy investing.